Hi Virgo, welcome to your reading. Here we are once again connecting to the forces of the universe, receiving those messages that will help to bring the clarity and the understanding that you needed in this time. Of course, I always say that I'm not a fortune teller. All I do is read energy. So here, when we do these readings, is as an opportunity to read your vibration. And if this is something that you want, and then you continue. But if it isn't, it's time to change. So just see it as that way. Because remember, you're a creator. You create all of your life experiences. But for that, you have to become more aware of your present moment. So within the present, if you are in a situation that you're not happy about, this is your opportunity to change it. So, of course, these are very overall readings that are, not necessarily going to describe everybody out there, but the message I always feel that is helpful and it can help anyone. And if you feel like it's not something that resonates with you during this time, don't worry. There's always a next time, and you never know. I also want to thank all of the subscribers that have been supporting my channel, and also all of your emails. Thank you very much, and I hope that we can continue to strengthen our bonds. So let's begin. So here we see, Virgo, that Saturn is coming, opening your reading. And we know that this is the vibration that deals with structure, with your social life. What are the type of things that we do in order to have a lifestyle? What are the things we do when we're meeting somebody new? And what I'm seeing here is that right now you are moving in a direction where you are interacting or communicating with someone. Of course, these are the Virgos that I'm picking up in these readings. Those of you who have met somebody or been communicating with someone, and I can see that this is a time where there's a lot of activity, or there has been. I feel like there has been a lot of activity, a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth. And that's part of the cycle. That's the first cycle that we go through when we meet someone. But I see here juggling, okay, with the Two of Pentacles. And the question that I have for you, Virgo, what are you juggling? Are you juggling something in your life right now? Are you trying to put too much in your plate? Okay? When there's too much going on, then somehow the spirit finds an outlet or an option for you to step back and relax. So if you've been very active or, been spending a lot of time with this new person, are you overextending yourself? And if you have, what I'm seeing here, that there is a strong possibility that there's going to be a break. There's going to be a break between this person and you, because it's the time that is, that you both are needing to recharge. So we're starting here with Saturn, basically affecting your connection, which is all about, getting to know somebody. And with Saturn, it could also be that sometimes we're able to give a lot of ourselves very quickly. And then when the energy changes, it changes to the opposite. We got to remember that we live in a reality where the energy moves in cycles. And we're part of that current. So everything in our lives moves through cycles in the same way the moon does. So when we begin a relationship, depending on the level of intensity that we're creating will be dependent of how that energy is going to flow as it changes into something else, as it transforms into something else. And with Saturn, it could just make it that at the beginning it's fantastic and you have so much in common, so much to talk about, so much passion. And it's like, gosh, I met the right person. And then after a month or two, things start dying down. And they can die down to a complete stop. And that's what Saturn can do. It can sort of push you to give all of yourself without really honoring your intuition, without really paying attention to the red flags. And the question the Spirit asks is, and what is the rush? Why are you rushing? So here, I'm being shown that you have been doing a lot. You've been very busy. This is a time that has been very busy for you. So I can see that there is a lot of socializing, hanging out with friends, hanging out with coworkers, but also hanging out with a significant other. And as you're moving forward, we see the Seven of Wands. And the 7 is the energy of the Chariot. And here we can see with the 7 of Wands, especially in this deck, that you are responding in a guarded way, which makes me wonder why. What has happened with this connection that you feel guarded? Well, what is showing me here is that the person that you're dealing with, okay, they have stopped communicating, or they're stopped to texting, communicating, and that's why you're feeling guarded. And in a way, now you're kind of wondering, well, and now what? So you're stopping for a moment, trying to figure out what you do, how do you respond, or how do you approach the situation. I'm seeing here that the communication could also be long distance. And I'm going to say that in this reading, I'm picking up a lot of different scenario, okay? I feel the energy very strong. The vibration is definitely very strong in the heart area. So something that started, like here we have something that started as looking as the right person with the Ace of Pentacles here. This Knight of Pentacles is coming in. Now somebody is so here we could see how, and I thought at first, Virgo, that this was you, but no. So I believe, because you're coming across as the Pentacles. So in this reading, you seem to be quite active in, this is about actions. It's like I'm doing what I need to do in order for this to take off. While the other person is coming across with swords. Okay, so somebody who could be now backing up because they have a lot going on, or maybe they're moody, they're not in a good emotional place, or maybe they just, need to take a break, or, paying attention to other things, and now because their cup is full, they're kind of taking a break. And as I can see, as the cards are describing me this Knight of Pentacles, which again, you came across with the Knight of Pentacles. But I believe that in this particular case, it is an aspect of you, but it's also an aspect of the person that you were dealing with. Because here is telling me that you came very strong into this situation, feeling very optimistic, and now it's reached a level where you kind of are at a stop, and you're kind of wondering if there is going to be a tower moment here, if this is all going to fall apart, and it's not going to be anything that you thought it to be. I hope this makes sense. And is that why you're guarded? You know, it's like there's a lack of communication here where the person is not talking. And you know, I have this thing, I bought this new camera, you guys, where, so, you know, I have it with the same contrast and color. And there are times when it looks fine, and there are other times when it reflects light in a different way. I don't have anything blue here, but yet the energy of this reading looks blue. The last time was red. And all of my readings came out red, but there was nothing red in the room. And the other day I was taping a reading, and you know what? The colors were perfectly fine. Did I do anything different? No. So I have tried to adjust this camera and take away the blue, and it just doesn't go away. So I'm going to take that as many of you right now, Virgo, you're having the blues. And maybe it's because that connection or whatever expectations you were developing with this newfound connection is letting you down. You're starting to doubt. And Saturn can do that. Remember that Saturn is what deals with our daily life, with our structures. But it's also who deals with our imbalances. I like to use that word better than karma, because normally with karma we tend to think more about negative things and positive. So he deals with imbalances. So let's say that while Mercury was in retrograde, your avatar, you were able to attract people from the past, and that was your opportunity to change the dynamic and have a better understanding about how you feel about that person. If there was any cord active, you were able to remove it. So now you moved on. And remember, the idea is not to just cut away from those things that we dislike. It's about learning the lesson. And then what happens is that we move on our journey, and we're going to attract situations that are going to come up so that we can show and demonstrate that we learn. So what I'm sensing here, Virgo, is that something is happening right now between this person and you, and it's in a way this is your opportunity. It's what Spirit said. This is your opportunity to demonstrate that whatever you learned in the past, you can do it here. And the question that comes up is, are you starting to feel afraid or doubtful? Are you being doubtful because this person is not behaving in the way as consistent as you would like it? Because if you are, and then be ready to create another situation that was similar to the past. Okay? Remember that we create things from within, not outside ourselves. Just remember that. So here I see that, you know, you started out you've been very busy, very occupied this time of year. And then this, you moved into a vibrational place that was very positive with the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, where you're very sure of yourself, very comfortable, ready for the next story, right? And then somehow you met someone, or you connected with someone that you liked enough, and you were able to spend some time together. And now you're questioning because this person stopped communicating. They're not communicating as much. And of course, this is not for everybody. Some of you could be very well still, be having that love affair, the honeymoon stage. So now you're, questioning. I see someone here from long distance too. Some of you are communicating with somebody long distance, and it's someone that is coming to me as very spiritually mature. This, so some of you can be communicating with someone who is very spiritually mature and, very, it's like they bring a lot of support and, I would say, security into your life. But some of you, the communication stopped, and it's making you wonder if there's going to be a tower moment. That's what I'm getting here. Now the next card up is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, we know that it's all about prosperity. It's about the things that we are excited about, creativity. And in the heart of the reading, we have the King of Swords. Somebody, and next to it, if you notice, King of Swords and the King of Cups. Now, Sagittarius comes with the 9th house. We're talking here about the Hermit in Tarot, which is the energy of Virgo. And what this tells me is like, King of Swords, we're in a state of waiting. And as you could see, this king seems to be quite pissed off. I mean, and I don't know that quite pissed off is not the right word. This is more about, I am not very happy. I'm not very content. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to feel like I need to question this whole situation, okay? So maybe some of you are starting to feel like you want to break this up, or you want to break it up. Because I see here with the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. So as you could see with this King of Pentacles, we're kind of exploring or thinking, is this the right person for us? Is this the right cup? Do I want to wait and see what happens, or do I just let it go? I also am feeling like some of you are meeting, you're attracting somebody else here with the King of Cups. So we have the King of Swords and the King of Cups together. And that, there is the King of Cups once again. So this is a person. Yeah, and you see, someone here is guarded. And this King of Cups, I see this person, right, communicating. And kind of, if you notice, they're choosing in this new cycle not to communicate. So I'm going to, I'm going to say, Virgo, that you in this moment are basically guarded, just because things are not unfolding in the way that you want. But I also see here 2 people. You're dealing with 2 people. You're dealing with someone who feels very connected to you and would like to communicate. They would like to find a way of how to communicate. And this is someone that you know from the past. Someone here is trying to find a way of communicating, but they just don't know how. While there's another person here, and they're both coming masculine. Of course, you can change the genders, but so someone here that you broke a relationship with is showing, and this is what Sagittarius it's showing you, it's directing you. There's someone here, okay, that in the background they still have an interest in you. Of course, they're showing up as a male, energy. And they are wondering what to do, how to approach you. While you have somebody else here that seems that all of a sudden they decided to move in a different direction. And you see the devil is next to it. So that tells me that whoever I'm connecting with, that this makes sense. This person is now exploring other things. Let me put it in this way. It's like whatever connection or communication you both had, it doesn't seem to be their priority right now. You know, and I have to say that with the devil here, this is someone who has quite a bit of challenges. You know, they could be insecure, they could be players. I mean, it could be many things. I mean, I don't like to judge anyone because this is not about judgment. This is about trying to describe the devil card. So, you know, they could have certain attachments, or maybe an attitude about relationship that is different, and they can come up as someone who's very nice, and then their actions are entirely different. Because here the communication, this is my communication card, it's upside down. So as the Fool, they began, you know, a new cycle. They decided to begin a new cycle. And this time around, it's like they're showing another aspect of themselves that is not what you've seen. So you have on one side someone who is feeling the loss and the loss of this cup, while on the other side you have somebody here with some sort of attachment or, you know, insecurity or limitation. And this is all what Sagittarius is showing you. So a lot of times it's good to be able to see these things. And I feel like this is part of the purpose of our moon. This moon that we're in is going to do that. I believe Sagittarius is opposing the moon. And that moon is in Gemini. In Gemini, it's about the twins, the two sides of things. So I believe that this moon is going to help you, Virgo, to see things that you normally can't. So be patient. Spirit here is saying be patient, because if you're questioning whether this person is the right person for you, you will know. You will know during the moon. No wonder, you know, Sagittarius is the number 9, which is the house of Virgo in tarot. So you're being helped by Jupiter, which is the ruler or the avatar of Sagittarius, to find clarity, to find the answers. And thank God. Thank God for those of us that need to know, and pretty soon, you know. But remember, these are just cycles. So, you know, energy, it moves in cycles. So we always have to come back to that. And based on how we created that connection is how things are going to unfold. So, and then we have Cancer, which is the 4th house, the things that are important to us, how we're feeling. So Saturn here is talking about what has happened in the physical world, the type of interactions that you've, you know, created. Here we're talking about, you know, how we're, you know, how is the energy moving with Sagittarius, whether you know, how you're being supported by the universe. It's about, you know, your introspection. No, that doesn't sound right. English, help. Anyways, this is the energy of expanding our consciousness. It's becoming more aware of things. And then with Cancer, it's about what is important to us. How do we feel about things? Okay, and in this case, I'm going to say that you are in the 9 of Wands. There's a lot of 9 in this reading. So maybe that's a great number right now to work with in numerology, which is the number of transformation. So don't be surprised, Virgo, if this person that you're getting to know has come just so that you can demonstrate your skills in understanding how to create your life, how to create your next experience. Because I feel like there's a lot of 9. 9 comes with Sagittarius, and then there is 9 with this person in you. So this person, they're in Swords, which is a very mental, and 9 of Swords they're overcoming difficulties. So these are a person that may have their own personal challenges and insecurities, and sometimes they just need time out so that they can feel themselves and they can prove that they're worthy through other means. While here you are in the Nine of Coins, kind of wondering, like, what's up with this? And now what's next? What am I going to do? But Spirit is saying, make sure that you don't start getting negative either or feeling insecure. Don't let those fears get in the way. In some ways, you may be picking up the state of mind of the other person. So with what you know today, I would encourage you to focus on this, prosperity that is happening in other areas of your life. So with the Nine of Wands, so we have Wands, Nine of Coins, and this person is showing us the Knight of Swords, which is, I said Nine of Coins, Knight of Swords before, but no, it's the Knight. They're the Knight of Swords. So that tells me that it's somebody who could be kind of immature, they're just kind of not sure, and they come in and they come out, and they have that little game. Anyways, but here we can see that with Cancer, it's all about how are you feeling about this, as this is all happening in the physical realm, in the experience realm. How are you feeling about it, Virgo? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling insecure? What is this triggering for you? So I can see that some of you are using the energy of Temperance, which is great. This is all about patience. So with the Nine of Wands, we're instead of waiting, and I feel like you know exactly what you want, but you're kind of waiting, and you're not. I can see that with Temperance here, this is a very good thing. It's like, you're learning to have patience, and you're determined that you're not going to let this situation get the worst of you. Because of this Ten of Swords, this is an energy of the past where you've gone through a lot. And at this time, you're not about to just surrender. Now, of course, I see here the Two of Swords, where some of you are feeling quite cautious, and that could play out as not being sure whether to text the person or call the person or reach out. It's like you're not quite sure, but in the meantime, you're just kind of waiting and see what happens. And this state is where Spirit is saying, get away from the mind. Don't think too much, okay? And maybe it's not such a good idea to wait. Maybe it's a better idea that you get distracted with something else. Yeah. Because here, with the Page of Cups and the Two of Swords, it's like, and what do I do now? How do I handle this? But I believe that this person is definitely going through some stuff that can, turn into insecurities, and that insecurity will reflect in their attitude. Sometimes they start out really strong, and then they have to go and hide and move away and feel their freedom. It's just to test, if they're free. And if you just kind of drop, this is not just about dropping them, physically, but it's also mentally. The mental and the emotional is the most important one. Because once they feel like nothing is tying them down, they'll come back. Now, you got to ask yourself if that's what you want to create. So I like this Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's like you're working it out. And in a way, it's like a lot of you are remembering your last situation, and you're like, I am not about to turn this experience once again into something that I experienced from the past. I also feel like some of you are maybe saying, I am not going to communicate, and I'm not going to reach out, and I'm just going to wait and see what happens. But I'm not, and you feel it, because it's very different when you just act spontaneously when you want to call someone than when you're thinking about, what do I do to hold myself back? And in that, resistance, it triggers a lot of insecurities. So we got to pay attention to that. Virgos, because we can get quite in our heads. You know, we can be quite methodical sometimes. So if we don't see things developing in a particular form right away, we start questioning, oh my God, is this going in the direction that I want? What do I need to do? So just chill and breathe. And remember, it's the holidays. And just be glad that you were able to have that connection. And if now it needs a break, be okay with that. Surrender to the change. Here I can see that Spirit is showing the ancestors are talking about the shaman energy. And here they're saying, you know, trust your angels, your guides, your ancestors. And if for whatever reason you've given your power away in this situation, and then it's time to take it back. Yeah, this is about like stop whatever is happening outside yourself to determine how you feel. And this also tells about your ability. I mean, you've had this card before, I believe, Virgo. You know, come on, you guys are very spiritual. You're very intuitive. So, you know, it's nice to have fun, but you can't compromise your intuition. You can't negotiate with intuition. So you gotta, as you're having fun, you always have to pay attention to what your intuition is telling you. So if for whatever reason you decided to juggle with that, well, time to take a look at what you were feeling before or what you're feeling now. I mean, the past is the past, right? So the time that you have now is to redirect your energy into the right direction. Here we have also the Medicine Mother. And she's saying, do what you need to do. And she's also talking, look, pay attention, because if there's an old pattern here that is arising, there's a rising or rising up, this is the time to deal with it and release it for good. So it's not so much about the person, it's about what is arising for you. Yeah, and this is about also honoring your feelings, honoring who you are. And if you have enough respect for yourself and the things that you want, and then it is totally up to you. You need to take the necessary steps to move closer, right, to the person you like to be. So if this person, for whatever reason, is not representing that, and then remind that to yourself. So this is about having that courage and determination that, oh, this is not representing what I desire. I'm letting it go. And with this card, the Traveler, I'm going to say that some of you are moving. I mean, after this reading, I'm going to say here that some of you are going to move away or in a new direction, that you're not going to stay in this situation. And this card talks about, you know, maybe this is the time where you may, you know, just choose the road of the less travel. And of course, this is the right journey for you, because it's the one who's going to help you and support you in your emotional and spiritual growth. And just remember that, you know, this is a time to just keep things simple. A spirit here is saying, you know, just keep it simple. And just, you know, lighten up your load, you know. Just don't let a lot of those emotions that come up in situations like this, you know, bring you back into the old self. And in the path, in the new direction, there's always more people to meet. There are, you know, better people that are more in alignment to who you are. So in some ways, what you're experiencing now, oh my goodness, I can speak, oh help. it can very well be that you are being tested. And if you're able to pass the test with flying colors, and then the next person around will be the better person. So just pay attention. It could also just very well be that this person may change entirely and come back with a whole different attitude. So pay attention. In the meantime, you're being asked to work with 2 stones. Aventurine is like the brown one with golden tones. That's a great stone to work with. I think it's protection, and it does a lot of different things. You guys can look it up. And then the other stone that I'm getting is the tiger eye. I think that both are about to releasing fears, insecurities, okay? Just remember that on the 11th and the 12th, we're going to have full moon. This is going to be a very strong moon. It's going to be very emotional time just because the moon is bringing that. But it's also going to reveal things to you. It's going to reveal the dark side. And you have to be prepared. You have to be willing to see it, because this is the way that we can actually choose and take the easier path. Of course, there's no such thing as easier, but you know what I mean. Like when we're able to see things because they're being brought to us, that was effortless. It didn't require us to work hard, so that makes it easier. So pay attention. Also, we are going to have an eclipse on the 26th, and I would say that the moon comes and then the eclipse, and we need to work out a lot of our emotions, because if we're caught up in resistance, those effects of the moon are going to feel awful. They're going to feel really hard on your heart center. So do the best that you can during this time. Just don't get too caught up or attached to anything. Enjoy yourself as long as you do not compromise with your intuition. That is the one way that you're going to know how much to give, how much time to spend with the person, okay? Even if you like that person. This is not about giving your heart first or giving your power first and then, using intuition later to figure out what you gave. No, this is a time to really ground yourself in your power and just say, yeah, this is someone that I really enjoy, I really like, there's great chemistry here, but what's the rush? Of course, this reading has come up this way. I'm sure that those of you who are in a relationship, the time that you're having right now is to be able to remove whatever resistance is between you and your partner. That will help you a great deal as you move into the end of the month. It could just be that somehow you're having differences and you're arguing about certain things that really, and I feel like it could just be about money situation, okay, where there's, maybe too much expenses. So just remember that there's an adjustment here that is taking place as we're moving towards the end of the year. We also have in between the winter solstice, which I think is the 21st. So we have the full moon on the 11th and 12th, depending on the hemisphere. And then we have the winter solstice. And then we have the eclipse. So a lot of stuff going on vibrationally. And of course, we're all being affected. And because, my dear Virgo, you are so sensitive, you have to pay attention. This is not the time to get too caught up in the mind trying to figure the other person out, why they're being this way or not. This is the time for you to make the decision. Oh, you're not communicating with me? That's okay. I am going to invest my time and energy in something else. And now I know. Because that means that next time I cannot fill your cup in the same way I did it before. All right, my dear Virgo, this is all I have for you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the time, and we'll see you soon. Take care of yourself and love yourself above all things. Thank you for watching.